Okay, Abram or Abraham?
Whatever.
Which one should we call you?
I don't mind. But
Yeah.
Abraham is better. I think so.
Abram?
Uh-huh.
Okay, but you know that in English, we don't say Ara. So we say Abraham or Abram. Abram. In English, because I got to work not to speak Spanish.
No.
¿Por qué? Because in English, it is, the R is instead of Ra.
It's different sound.
Instead of Abram, it'd be Abram. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think? Does that sound weird? Sounds strange?
Just a little bit strange.
Yeah. Here, let me tilt this so we can see it a little bit. There we go. Just so we know for sure that it is recording. Okay. Abram or Abraham. We should, Abram. The thing is, English speakers will not be able to say Abram.
Okay, so
They will
Abraham.
not. They can say Abraham.
Or
they can say Abram. They can say Abram.
Yeah.
You know, in the Bible, he was Abram, and then his name was changed to Abraham.
Yeah, but now.
But your name is Abraham.
Yes, because I'm Christian, so that changed my name.
Okay. I saw you were practicing English with, I think it's Karen Foster.
Yes, she's my tutor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she is so good. She's so kind.
Mm-hmm. She's part of my church too.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So, do you meet every week or every day?
Twice a week. Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. For 1 hour?
It could be 1 hour, but sometimes we talk a lot and we expand our tutoring for around 1.5, sometimes 2 hours. But yeah.
So you've been working on your English. Is it something that you enjoy, or is it something that is frustrating?
No, I really enjoy it because I really like to talk with the people. So when it's in English, I think that it's more interactive, but sometimes I feel frustrating because I don't understand some words, or I have the meaning of what I want to say in my mind, but when I'm talking, everything is mixed. Yeah, but I'm trying to improve.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And you were telling me some stories the other day. You said you've been working on, you were learning English growing up in school, but also when you were 15, you started focusing more on English.
Yeah. My father always saying me, he always told me, Abraham, study English, and I think that if I would be more obedient, maybe it could be easier for me now because I study, but I don't put all myself in study English. But it's okay.
As a kid, it can be hard to understand why something will be helpful later. When I was 15, my dad started teaching me Greek.
Wow.
And he learned Greek. So for 1 year, we were learning Greek. I have forgotten all of it. I don't remember any, I remember logos, logos.
Yeah.
Evangelion. I remember some words, but that's it. But he knows Greek now. But at the time, I could not understand what's the point of learning Greek? It's already, the Bible is already in English now.
Yeah, when I was young, I'm young, but when I was 15 or 16, I was thinking, I want to go out to play soccer. I want to go out with my friends to do whatever I want. What I must be here studying English. And I think I will never be in United States or I will never be in United Kingdom. What's my purpose of studying English? But that,
So how old are you now?
what? Can you repeat?
How old are you now?
I'm 20.
In
Yeah.
Spanish, you would say, in English, if you were to say it the Spanish way in English, is like, how many years do you have?
¿Cuántos? Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not what we say in English. We say, ¿qué tan viejo eres? How old are you?
Ajá, ¿qué tan viejo eres?
So,
It was difficult. It was difficult because, we have our questions in Spanish, and when you say it in English, it's like, what are you saying?
what are you saying? All right, so how old are you? What did you say?
¿Cuántos años tienes?
But how old, what was the answer? How old are you, did you say?
I'm 20.
20. Okay, you are 20 now. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start our time. This is our timer. So 15 minute timer. We'll turn it a couple times. But all right. So where are you from? Let's go back to the beginning. Where are you from? Where were you born? What was it like growing up?
Oof. Well, I'm from Ecuador. The better country of all the world, I think. Yeah, and I was born in Guayaquil. It's a big city, but my father was Navy. So for his job, we had to travel a lot.
Oh, wow.
Sometimes I live in Guayaquil maybe 2 years. Then I moved to Esmeraldas,
Okay.
on the coast. And I was there for around 3 more years.
Where was the first city? What region was that? Near the mountains or the jungle or the coast?
The first city is on the coast.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then you also moved to the
Because-
coast. Okay.
Well, some navies go to the mountains, but it is strange because what is doing a navy on the
Yeah.
mountains? Yeah, so we moved to Esmeraldas, and we were moving to one place, to other place, to other place, to other place. Well, when I was a child, I was so extroverted.
Extroverted. Like you liked people.
Yeah.
Always talking with
Yeah,
people.
always.
Extroverted. Okay.
And it was amazing because I went out when I finished my school, I go to do my homework, and when I finished my homework, I went out to play with my friends out the day. And well, my father was working in his job. It was in the same place that we were living. It was like
like a campus or like a
Yeah.
compound, like
condominium.
okay,
Yes.
like apartments and stuff.
Yeah, apartment.
Okay.
So we were there. Well, it's safe. Yeah, it's safe. And my father was working, and sometimes he has to sleep in his job. And my mother has a cyber center. Yeah.
Okay.
So me and my brother were out a lot of time. And when my mom go back to the house, we never be there. So always my mom was out with a belt, screaming, "Abraham, Moses!" And we no. But it was a good childhood.
Okay.
Yeah, a
Okay.
good childhood. Well, my parents were not Christians.
Oh.
Yeah. So, they have troubles in house, and my father, he was so angry. He was so angry. And well, it was difficult for me because he always nos castigaba.
Punished us
Yeah.
or disciplined us.
Discipline us, but it was not discipline us. Yeah, for whatever, for everything. For example, sometimes I go out, and I go back to the house with a hurt. Yeah,
Like a scrape or a cut or something.
Yeah, that was what were you thinking about?
And discipline for getting
Discipline.
hurt.
Yeah, so I was
okay.
confused. Why are you disciplining me if I'm hurt. Well, it was difficult. We lived in Esmeraldas, and then we moved to Guayaquil. I was around 10 or 11 years old, and we lived there. My father still was being angry, and it makes problem in our house because my mom never feel good with that, and I was so angry with my father. I hate him. I really hate him, and well, my parents decided to separate, to finish their marriage. And I was like, well, I hate my father, so I think that it's good. It's good for it.
Wow.
So, but before of this, my father was going to the church. He was going to the church. And
The whole time? Or did
No,
he start?
No, he started going to the church. And he was so excited for learn more about God. But he just want to know more about God. He doesn't know that he has to live a Christian, like a Christian. He doesn't know that he has to love to his family. He always, I think, or I thought before, he always loved everything out of our family. But now he has to learn how to love us. And it was difficult because he was so exciting for it, and he wanna teach us about his God. And he doesn't have the good way to teach us. For example, to my brother, he say, hey, let's go to church. And he never asked, he never questioned us if we wanna go. And I was, well, I'm going to the church, and I'm sit there, and I'm not doing anything. I really don't want to be here. So I know my father's schedule. So I was thinking, well, my father is gonna be here in home in maybe 15 minutes. I'm gonna go out. So for don't spend time with him because I really hate him, and for don't go to the church to be sitting for 1 hour there and yeah. So always I went out of my house. I always have in my house food and study. Really, we don't have some good things or richness, but we have the note for be there living happy. You know. But I always go out to the street with my friends, playing soccer, maybe sometimes going to some places that where I don't have to be.
Where you shouldn't be.
Yeah, where I shouldn't be.
Okay.
And it's, I was kid there. I was younger. I was around 11 or 12 years old. And I never think that it will be a problem before. No, after.
Yeah.
After. So, my parents were, they gonna be...
Get divorced?
Yeah, get divorced. They will get divorced. And, my mom has a job, and my father go to other house. He knew another girl, and they were living in other place. Me and my brother were living with some aunts and uncles for some months, 2 or 3 months, but we have to study. So my mom called to us, and my mother talked with my uncles and my aunts and say, hey, send me the children because they have to study. And for this time, my mother knew to another man. But I don't know what happened there. So I remember that now we were living in Guayaquil, but in other house, in our own house. And my mother she always was sad for everything, because she is still loving to my father, and she was thinking about us. You know, when she doesn't live with her father, so
With her husband?
no, with her father
Okay.
when she was child.
Oh, she didn't?
No, she didn't.
Oh.
He died
okay.
when she was younger.
Oh, wow.
So it was difficult for her to think about us.
Not having a father. No.
Yeah, not having a father.
Oh, okay.
And the environment in Guayaquil was so heavy. In this place, always in two houses next to my house, the people sell drugs. And sometimes you listen some guns like Papa. Well, I never mind because I was a kid, so sometimes I go to plays, I told you, or I shouldn't be. And it was difficult for her and for me and my brother. And it's amazing because, well, my father still going to the church when she was with this woman.
When wow, okay. Okay, he was still going to church.
Yeah, he's still going
At
to
some
the
point,
church.
did he figure out that what he was doing was wrong?
Later, later, because he talked with a pastor, and the pastor told him, "Well, you know where is your home. What are you doing with this woman that it's not in your home?" But the amazing is that he surrendered with us. He surrendered with us.
What do you mean?
Well, he thought my woman doesn't love me. My
okay.
children are there with her, so what I'm trying. But I don't know what happened there. But my mom called to my father, and she told him, "Hey, can you come back? I want to know more about God."
Wow.
Yes. So my father was like, "Why?" But I doesn't know about it. I remember that I finished my school and I was going to my house, and there I'm going in my house, and my father was there, and I was, "Well, what are you doing here?"
Wow.
Yeah, it was so
Like a
shocking,
shock.
like
It was
a shock.
Yeah.
It was so shocking for me, and he told me, "I'm still being your father." And I say, "Well, that's right." um, well, my father, for this time, my father is Christian, my mother is Christian, and they, like a partner, told us, "Well, let's go to the church." And
Together, they said,
together
let's go
this
to
time.
church.
Together.
So they came back together?
Yes, my mother called to my father, and
they came back together. And like they left the other people they were with before that.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how it was, but they left.
Okay. And then they said, let's all go to church.
Oh,
Okay.
all the family. I understand something. I hate to my dad, but I understand that it was not his plan, and I know that it was not my mother's plan because they were hurting. So I understand.
When were you able to forgive your father and not hate him anymore?
Well, it was difficult because I was going to the church, but I really don't feel nothing. Later my brother become Christian, he Baptist, and I was, well, I understand, but I believe, but it was because all the pressure there in my house and in the church, and I am a believer too. But something that really shocked me was when I always were out of my house. So I remember that it was around 11 at night, and Guayaquil it's danger, and my friends were out too. And my father told me, my parents, hey, Abraham, come to sleep because you must study tomorrow. I was, yeah, I go. I was in my house, and I wait for around 10 minutes, and I went out for the
roof?
for the roof.
Yeah?
And I was...
You went out on the roof? Like to get out of the house?
Yeah.
From your window?
No, for the backyard.
Oh.
I remember that and I was on the roof, and I was like, my friend was there, and I told him, hey, I'm gone now. He doesn't see me, and I was thinking, why? Well, I don't mind. I went out for maybe, I don't know how I go down of my house, and I was going to play with my friends. And when I'm going there, my father told me, hey, Abraham. I was shocked. He was, no, he could not discipline me again.
Like he saw you leaving?
No.
Or he was there?
He was in the windows.
Ah, okay.
And I was going. And my father is, well, what is he doing?
Yeah.
And he told me, Abraham. And I was, no. I know that he has to discipline me.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking, well, no, again, no. And I'm going back to my house with the face down, with the head down. And I was, well, I hope that it don't hurt a lot. And he just said me, Abraham, this is your house. He was deceptionated about me, and he's go to sleep. And it was amazing because I was waiting that he disciplined me. It was, what happened here? What's happening here? And this night I prayed to God, well, let's try it. Let's try it. If you can change to my father, maybe you can change to me.
Wow, okay.
But I was no believer there. I just was like, well, I'm gonna go to the church, but this time because I want. I wanna serve to God, but this time because I want, not for be obedient to my parents or to the pastor. No, this time I want to.
Do you remember how old you were when you asked
Yeah.
God, if you could, let's see if you can change me?
Yes, it was like around 13.
Okay.
But it was not a real conversation because I remember that I really become Christian when I was around 15.
Okay. And what changed when you were 15?
It changed because we moved to a Bible Institute.
Oh.
So it was different because my parents say, well, we want to learn more about God. We want to learn what God wants for our life, like a family. And I was, well, let's go.
Where was the Bible Institute?
In Quito.
Oh, okay. So you moved to Quito.
We moved to Quito, in the capital. It was in the mountains.
Ah, okay.
So it was a really change, and it was a really challenge for me.
Okay.
Because in Guayaquil I always was out, and in this place I don't know to no one. But well, I remember that a friend told me, hey, do you want to go to a campment? And I told him no.
Like a camp.
A camp.
Uh-huh.
A camp. And
Like a youth camp or something, or what?
Huh?
Like a youth camp, like young people?
Yes, a young camp.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, really, I don't have money. I don't have money, and I don't want to say to my parents, hey, can you give me for go to a camp? Because it was expensive. It was on the beach. And he told me, well, don't worry, I will pay you. And I say, well, but I don't want to go. The next day, he went to my house and he take me and he talked with my parents, and he said, "Hey, I want to go to this camp with Abraham, but he doesn't want to go. Can you talk with him?" I was like, "No," but we went to the camp.
Okay.
We went to this camp.
Hey everyone, Billy Jackson here. This is our podcast, Entre Hermanos, and that means between brothers. We want the brothers and sisters of Christ hearing the stories of what God is doing to prepare future pastors and missionaries for His church. That's what we're trying to do. So if you enjoy the stories, share this podcast with others and have so that they can hear what God is doing around the world.
In this camp, it was, well, it's the beach. And I thought that I was going to be on the beach a lot of time. But it was not like that, because we spent most of our time in a place where we studied the Bible every time.
Every day.
Every time.
All day.
Every day. All day, yes. But the study was so good.
What kind of? Do you remember the name of the camp, or like what kind of camp it was?
It was, no, I don't remember.
Like a church was doing it or something.
It's a ministry in this place.
Okay. Okay.
I can talk with someone for the name of the camp, but right now I don't remember.
Okay, that's okay. But so you were there, and instead of on the beach, you were studying the Bible.
Studying the Bible, yeah. We were on the beach, but it was for a short time. It was, well, the studies were so amazing. I understand the salvation. I understand I understand the salvation, but everything was in my mind. I never feel it in my heart. In the predication, I don't remember the name of the pastor, but he told me a phrase: "God is fire. He is not a game." And I was, wow.
The preacher who was or the person preaching said that.
The preaching.
Uh-huh.
He told this phrase:
Uh-huh.
"God is fire. He's not a game." In Spanish, Dios es fuego. Él no es fuego. Perdón. Dios es fuego. Él no es juego. And I understand.
Okay.
I was playing with God. I was in the church. I was serving to God, but really I was not Christian. I never understand what is the real salvation, because everything was in my mind, but never was in my heart. And I understand, and I say, well, it's something that I have to do now, and it's something that I have to do later. And I put on my knees and I prayed to God, and I told Him, God, sorry for everything, because I was living a life that was not good. And well, it's difficult in English, but I told Him, can you can I be your son? And I want to change my life. And it was the time that I become Christian. And later, 2 years later, I understand everything. I talk with someone, and in this conversation, I understand that, well, I have to apologize to my father. I remember that he was working in somewhere, charging wood, and my mother was in the house, and she said, well, I have to leave the food to your father. And I told her, well, I want to go. And I went to his job. And then I told him, hey, Dad, I wanna tell you, I wanna talk with you. I wanna tell you something. And he told me, I wanna do something too. And in this time, I apologized him. Told him, Dad, sorry for be a bad song, for everything. Really, you know, I always fight with you, screaming and everything. But the reason is because I always hate you for this reason, for everything what happened in our life, and I wanna say you sorry for it, and I wanna apologize you. And he told me I was gonna say you the same. And I hugged him and I say sorry. And this was my real conversation.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was so difficult for me because all my life I hate to my dad. And in this time, I understand that if I wanna grow up like a Christian, I have to forgive everything and leave everything in the past, like Jesus did it with me.
Yeah.
And it was
So you said, was that 2 years after the camp?
few years
So like
after,
when you were
yeah,
like 17,
17.
was when the Lord helped you understand you had to forgive
Yes.
your father.
Because I really don't wanna forgive him.
Yeah.
Really, I don't wanna forgive
Wow.
him. And well, it was me. Always was me because God always was there, giving the opportunity for forgive to my father and for God has his way, his ways to do something. But I really don't wanna do the God's volunteer.
God's will.
Yeah, es
Voluntad, right?
Uh-huh.
Is God's will.
God's will. But in this point, it was difficult, and I can tell you the process. The easier is to apologize him, and the process was a little bit more difficult, but we did it. I understand that we did it. Well, we are human. We have our feelings, our failings. So, well,
The other day when we were talking, you were also sharing with me some of the stories about going with your dad to places.
yeah.
So first, after they went to the Bible Institute, then what did they do?
It was when they were studying in the Bible Institute.
Uh-huh.
Well, God gave
That's
us.
when he was traveling places or what?
Can you repeat?
Like when you were like you were telling me about your dad went somewhere where you could only get in an airplane. Was that during the Bible Institute time
Yes.
or later?
During.
Oh,
the Bible Institute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was around maybe. If I remember, it was when they were my parents in their third year of study.
Oh, and their third year.
Yeah.
Did they do 4 years?
Yes.
Oh,
No,
wow.
they only did 3 years.
3 years. Okay.
3 years.
Okay.
Well, it was amazing because the director,
The director.
the director in the institute was looking for people that going to the jungle, but specifically in this place, it was like no one wanna go there. Anybody wanna go there because it's so far away. You must travel around 8 or 9 hours in the car and then take a plane and going 1 hour inside in the jungle. The first person be there was this director, and he talked with my father, and they was talking, and my father told him, "Hey, can I go? But I wanna go with my family." my mother, Moses, me, and my father. And we say, yes, let's go. Let's go. And we, in this place, we were the first people going to this community to teach the word of God. And well, it was amazing. In the past, we have been in the jungle before, but in this place, it was the real jungle, the real jungle.
Like what was different? Like why is the real jungle?
Well, at the night you listen the tigers. In Ecuador, it's tigrillo. It's like a little tiger.
Like jaguars and stuff?
I think so.
Big cats.
Yeah, it's like a big cat. And it sounds like I don't know how to do that. But yes, it was danger. And when we were in the community, and you walk around 5 minutes, and you can see the monkeys going from one tree to another tree.
Wow.
You can. It was a place where it was water there, and there in this place were piranhas.
The fish?
Yeah, the fish that.
Piranhas. They eat you. Yeah?
Yeah, they.
Okay.
Piranhas and like a little crocodile.
Crocodiles?
Yeah. Crocodiles, and it was danger.
Yeah.
It was the real jungle. Jungle. Well, it was so beautiful because we were there like around maybe 2 or 3 weeks, and it was beautiful because you can see to these people from the jungle.
Were there any Christians there? Were there any believers?
Maybe 1 or 2, if I don't remember, but I don't remember.
Okay.
But maybe 1 or 2.
But was everyone listening to the Bible, to God's word being taught?
No, not. Maybe because the people in the jungle sometimes go out to the city to buy food or cookies or.
How do they get to the city? The people from the jungle, how do they get to the city?
In this community, maybe 1 or 2 weeks, or sometimes more time.
Wow.
Yes, because they go
get to the city.
Yeah,
So
sometimes
it's a big trip.
Yeah, it's a big trip.
Wow.
They walk for days, and when they finish to walk, they take a little boat, canoe.
A boat, yeah, okay, a canoe.
And they go maybe 2 or 3 hours out, and then they be in another place, and they must walk again.
Okay, so sometimes they go out to the city and come back for some things, but who was listening? Because you were there to teach. Your family, your dad was there to teach, right? So who was listening? Who was the whole tribe?
No, all the people in the community know Spanish.
Oh, yes? That's good.
They speak Spanish.
That's good. That's good.
Because I told you, they go out and then they come back. For them, go to vacation is go out of the community. And they don't have money. So they just see everything. It's new for them.
Yeah. And they have another language that they also speak.
In the language in this community was Achuara.
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 Achuara. Okay.
Achuara. Just the letter R. Achuara.
Achuar?
Yeah.
Oh, Achuar.
Achuara.
Okay.
Well, they speak Spanish, but they don't have a good pronunciation. It's well, it was amazing because when you speak with these kind of people, they sometimes are like, well, at first time they don't really confía.
They don't trust or have confidence Yeah.
the second word.
Yeah, they don't have much confidence,
Confidence in
in
you.
Uh-huh.
We was waiting that in the community, there are, how do you say, it's a, in Ecuador, its name is ajino. Es como un
Ajino.
jabalí.
Okay, like animals,
Yeah,
like kind of like pigs.
Yeah.
Wild, but like wild.
Wild pig. Well, there is food, but we don't know how to get the food because we are from the city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So at first time we eat eggs, rice, and nothing else.
Wow.
And because they don't get comfy,
They
they don't
didn't have
trust.
confidence to give you food.
Yes.
Oh wow! So you just had to get your own food.
Yeah, and we don't have
And you don't have your own food. Okay. You said the first time. Did you guys go back, or did your dad go back to this place? Did you return to this place, or just one time?
To this place is was just me just one time because later the how do you say
The director, or
no the el pasaje,
the passage, or like the cost
the cost was a lot
too expensive?
too expensive.
Okay.
The next time my father go with my mother,
Oh,
and
okay.
it was cheaper.
Okay.
And also my brother was thinking about to come here to study.
Okay.
So it was like, well, we must save money for most.
But your dad went back.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But it's amazing, because in this community it was a child, a little, like a baby. And this baby, well, his name is Juanito. And Juanito was a baby that we really love him. And we know to his father, his mother, and his grandparents. Well, it was troubles in this place, and the mother, Juanito's mother, go out to our house, and she told us, well, I don't want to my son, but we can't take these children for us, and we say, well, we don't know what to do with him. But she talked with another brothers in my church in Quito, and those brothers decided to adopt him. And it's amazing because the first time that we were there, he was a baby, and we speak everything about God's story. And now he is around 3 or 4 years old. And when he talk with us, he say, hey, I know this story. I know Jonah's story. I know David's story. Jesus, in Spanish, right? And it's amazing because with him, we know that our work, it was not in vain. Yeah, it has recompensas.
Recompense?
Recompense.
Or you can say fruit, right?
It has fruit. And we are like, wow, a baby understand. And what about the adult?
You were sharing with me the other day that it was hard for you. You were sad some in the community because of because of their laws, or because of the way that the community works, or things like that. There were some hard things that made your heart sad.
Yeah, it are hard things in this community. Some of them, well, the childrens, they don't have, well, they never have shoes or sandals, and it's normal for them. The children or the babies go naked around around there, and it's really beautiful because when you give them a balloon, they really accept it with all their heart,
with all their heart.
Yeah.
Like a balloon is very
It's
special.
very
It's a
special
special
for
gift.
them. Yeah, and a balloon it's just a little thing. Maybe it's spend 10 cents or 25 cents, but they really love it. And they
They blow it up, or
blow it up and they play maybe for 1 hour. And when they finish of play with it, they
like untie it?
untie it. Yeah, and they do it. They do it again because they know that they must save this balloon because they don't know when it's gonna be the next time that they have a balloon.
Oh wow!
You know, and sometimes, the balloon explode, and all the children start to cry.
Wow!
And it was like, man, I have better things in my house, and sometimes I don't feel good with my stuffs there, and those children with a little thing, they are happy. What's happening here? Yeah.
Have you? Did you ever visit other communities or like tribes, or is this the
Yes.
main? Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Before
Oh, yeah?
Before and after. Well, but let me tell you about after.
Okay.
It's a missionary in my country. His name is Mr. Borman.
Okay.
All the people know him like Mr. Borman.
Okay.
But his real name is Ron Borman.
Okay.
And we are very friends. I really remember him with a lot of love. So he told me one day, hey, you wanna come with me to visit this community? I told him, yes, right. Why not? It was in the name of the community it's Cofan. It's
Cofan?
another community,
Uh-huh.
Before West Ecuador, now are Cofan.
Cofan.
And the interesting of this is that he's from USA, but his parents are missionary, and his parents went to Ecuador to this community. He was born in Quito, and he lived all his childhood and almost all his young in the jungle. And it's interesting because he know English, he know Cofan, and he know Spanish, but the best language for him is Cofan.
Wow.
He speaks better Cofan than Spanish.
Wow.
Yes, it's strange, but it's
Yeah.
like that. And we make a Christmas trip. I have pictures there. And it was beautiful because I went with my father and with this missionary, with another person, but he's from India. He's from India, another person there, and it was amazing. We are from different cultures, especially for the Indian people, the Indian person, and we are here for complete the same purpose. Our purpose was that the people know to Jesus. It was beautiful because we went to 3 communities. In this trip.
Cofan communities. Okay.
3 Cofan communities. I don't remember the names. Only one. No, I don't remember.
It's okay. It's okay.
But in this place, something difficult in this place, in contrast to the actual people, is that the technology is in Cofan people. The technology and the government make a school there. And,
Okay. So this community had technology.
Yeah,
Even though they were maybe in the jungle or more remote, they had technology now. Okay.
So it's difficult because when something is new for a people, It's new and it's llamativo,
Attractive.
attractive.
It's attractive.
Attractive, and well, the people say, I want a tattoo or something like that. And the most challenge that this missionary have there is that his parents translate the Bible from Spanish or English, I don't know, to Kofan.
Okay.
And the government was there, and they make another vocabulary, another abecedario.
Like
A, B,
alphabet?
C, D,
Alphabet. Oh.
Another alphabet, and well, the Bible has another alphabet.
Oh, like the missionaries made an alphabet,
Aha.
but then the government made a different
A
one.
different one.
Oh, that is
Yeah.
hard. Yeah.
It's hard. Well, and it's the difficult thing now, but I really like this community because all the people is together. Well, we have a young meeting, and all the young
people.
people go there.
Okay.
And sometimes not only the young people, if not the adult people go there too.
Yeah.
And we have an adult meeting, and everyone are they never say you no.
We have a few more minutes, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What time do you have to leave?
11:20.
Okay. That's when your class starts, though.
Yeah.
So
But,
you leave before 11:20.
apparently the class start at 11:25.
Oh.
But my teacher is there 11:50, 11:20.
Hey, before we end, how did you get here? Like, why did you come here?
Well, really fast, really fast. I have all those things before in my past. You know, I apologize to my father. I grown up like a Christian. I went to missionary trips, a lot of missionary trips, if I remember. And it was amazing, but I really want to study other things. I want to study into university. So it was a time where I was confused about God things. I really was confused, and I failed in some things, you know, but I was another things. I try everything. I really try everything. I have the score to get in the university, but God never opened his door. You know, the university told me, "Hey, you are in, but it's in other state, another state
Of Ecuador.
No, out of my, we say province. Yeah.
Out of state, like another
Yeah,
place in
another
your
place.
country.
In my country, but in another place. State, because I think that it's better for you. Yeah. So my mother said, well, no, because we don't have the money for apartment and everything. Yeah.
Okay.
It's right. What I was going to do in other state. I tried to find a job. I find the job, but 2 weeks sometimes were not good things, and sometimes the people was there, hey, we really don't need you because I don't know. But that was, the point is that God never opened doors. And I was like, I want to do something. I want to study in the university. I want to find a job. I want to go to another country to study whatever, what I really want to study. I want to be a Navy, but for go to the Navy, you must be really good. And I have 2 arms broken. and it's a problem for go there. But I never think about what God want to my life. And the only door that God opened at first time was Rio Grande, but I lived. When I was maybe 18, I say, well, I don't remember with who I talked, but I told him, well, maybe later. But it was I say my mom always was there. I was, and she told me, be obedient with God, do what God say, and study His. Well, she told me, God opened this door, Rio Grande, and you rejected. You tried to find whatever you want, and God say no. What do you think that you have to do? And I say, I don't know. No, I understand that God wants that I study His Bible. And I speak with the people here, and they told me, well, you want to study other things. How do you know that it's God's volunteer? Or how do you know that
It's God's will.
God's will? And how do you know that it's what you really want to do? And I say, no. God is saying me that it's God's will. And I don't want to be like Jonah. And they say, well, study 1 year.
Okay.
Online mode.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, online mode. And when you finish, you can decide it if it's the real one you want to do and if God's will. And I say, well, yes, let's do it.
Okay. So you studied online
Yes,
for 1 year?
1 year.
Wow, I didn't know that. Or maybe you told me and I forgot.
No, I don't tell you.
Okay.
But now you know it.
Yeah, so you studied online for 1 year
Yeah,
and then decided to come.
yes. But when I finished, well, I speak with the people here and they told me, well, you can apply to come here to study. And I say, well, it's God's will. Everything is open. I gonna be there. And I apply and I start the process. The first time my visa was denied. But the time that I studied for this year, it was for bless.
It was it was a blessing?
It was a blessing for me. And my mother told me, well, what do you have to do? What do you have to do? You don't gonna stay here. And she told me, you can study in Argentina at the university. And I was thinking, well, no, why? Why I gonna go back? And I told her, no, right now I want to study in Rio Grande, the Bible. And I studied for, I don't remember how long time. And the second time that I applied
For your visa?
God give me the visa.
Are you studying for the 4 years?
No.
Or 2 years?
Here?
Yeah.
Yeah, for 4 years.
What's the emphasis you have?
Missionary.
Missions.
Yeah,
All right.
missions.
All right. Hey, you've done a really good job. I know it is or it can be hard in another language to share your heart. It is hard, right?
Yeah, it's hard because
I've tried to share my testimony in Spanish, and it is hard. But you did a good job. Thank you for sharing with us, with me. And we didn't start in prayer. Let me pray for you before you go to your next class.
Yeah.
What is your next class?
English.
English? All right. All right, let's pray. Lord, thank you for Abraham. Thank you for his story. Thank you for his testimony. Thank you for not only did you forgive him, you taught him how to forgive his father. You have given him opportunities to see what it's like for your gospel to go into communities where they don't know your word. I pray that you would teach him and train him now, make him ready for what you have next for him, whether it be as a pastor, a missionary, or whatever kind of work you have for him. I pray that you would bless him, help him to keep learning to trust you and be faithful to you. And I pray this in Christ's name, amen.